Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Fallout 3. Last time we cleared Vault 112 in Tranquility Lane, completing scientific pursuits, and finally reuniting with our dad. Today, we're going to complete the Waters of Life, which begins by heading over to the Jefferson Memorial Rotunda, or Project Purity, to join and assist Dad and the other scientists. So let's go. Gather in the Memorial Rotunda. We could well beat Dad there, in which case we'll just have to wait for him. Everything is still dead, so that much is good. Did I miss this? I sure did. Didn't miss that. Oh, okay.
Great.
Daniel Agincourt.
Oh, great. Listen, I know who you are, okay? Far as I'm concerned, you've got no business being here, so just stay out of my way.
What's your story?
Unlike some people around here, I stuck with Dr. Lee through it all. I was the last one to leave when we finally gave up. Now your daddy shows up out of the blue, and suddenly I have to drop everything to come back and help pick up the pieces.
He's just trying to do the right thing.
Sure. No matter that he disappears for almost 20 years, leaving us all hanging. It's not like we have lives or anything.
Do you think Project Purity will ever work again?
The hell do you care? You showed up here, 5 minutes ago, and now you're strutting around like you own the place? You shouldn't even be here. Why don't you go do whatever it is you're supposed to be doing and leave me alone?
Do you think Project Purity will ever work again?
Not if you keep asking me stupid questions.
Anything I should know about this place?
Besides the fact that you shouldn't be here? Don't touch anything you're not told to. There's enough to do around here without having to clean up after you.
I have to go now.
Keep your hands to yourself in there. This equipment is fragile.
Well, he's a douche canoe. I didn't see anyone out here, so let's just quickly sweep through, see if anyone else has spawned in yet. Alex Dargan.
Hey there. I hear we have you to thank for getting us up and running again.
What's your story?
Who, me? Oh, nothing special. I grew up in Rivet City and was always interested in what the scientists were doing there. Dr. Lee took me under her wing and taught me everything I know. Dan and I were out in the field when we got the call to come back.
Do you think Project Purity will ever work again?
I don't see why not. Between Dr. Lee and your dad, we've got the best minds on the job. They can do just about anything. Yeah, I think we'll be up and running in no time.
Anything I should know about this place?
I'd steer clear of the water if I were you. It's seeping in from the tidal basin, which means it's radioactive. If that's not bad enough, if there are any loose wires as the power comes back on, you might get a bit of a jolt. Know what I mean?
I have to go now.
Good luck.
Alrighty. That's it for out here. Let's head to the Rotunda. Looks like the bottom level is clear. Looks like the top level is, at least for the moment, also clear. There's Dr. Lee.
What can I do for you?
Do you think Project Purity will ever work again?
I have faith in your father. With the knowledge he's gained, we stand a better chance than we ever have.
I have to go now.
Farewell.
And there's
Here
Dad.
we are, where it all began. You remember your mother's favorite passage? Revelation 21:6. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. Don't you see? This is what it all means. The water, the purifier. This is the water of life. Your mother's dream. No point in wasting time. Let's get to work. There's much to be done.
Note added, Revelation 21:6. What do we need to do right now?
The project was abandoned shortly after you were born. Things have deteriorated here since then, and there's been some flooding. I'll need you to get to the flood control pumps and activate them so we can clear out the water and reach the mainframe.
Okay, where do I need to go?
The automatic doors sealed when the flooding occurred, so you'll have to use the access tunnels to reach the pumps.
Revelation 21:6. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. And our objective is now, we've completed join the scientists at Project Purity. Now we need to turn on the flood control pump power. Sounds simple enough.
Oh, great.
Still just those two. Let's head to the memorial sub-basement. All the way down, you can just follow the signs to flood control relay. This is the pump right here. Turn her on.
Great work on the pumps. Hurry back, and I'll give you the fuses you'll need.
Completed. Turn on the flood control pump power. Get the fuses from Dad. Well, alright. Back up we go. Anna Holt.
Hey there. Later.
She was in Rivet City. I presume that's why she has nothing new to say. Into the rotunda. Looks like it is just Dad and Dr. Lee in here still.
Did you need something?
I've been hearing good things about you. Is it true? Did you really disarm the bomb in Megaton?
Yes, I disarmed the bomb.
I'm very proud of you, even though you put yourself in harm's way. Just please be careful out there. This is a dangerous world. Far more dangerous than anyone in that vault knows.
You said something about fuses?
Right. The flooding shorted out some of the fuse boxes downstairs, including one that controls some of the automatic doors. Here, take these fuses. The box is back down in the sub-basement near the eastern end of the level. Once the fuses are replaced, you'll be able to get to the mainframe.
What should I be doing now? Completed. Get the fuses from Dad. Replace the damaged fuses.
You need to replace the fuses that shorted out in the flooding. Once they're in, the automatic doors will work and we can reach the mainframe. Be careful, my son.
Oh, great.
Head all the way down again. Fuse access A1 are the signs we're following this time. I think my first time through I said I was skipping those. I'll grab them this time. Why not? Here's fuse access. Activate auxiliary power fuse box.
With the fuses in place, you should be able to access the mainframe. No need to come back to the control room. Just head straight there.
Completed. Replace the damaged fuses. Boot up the mainframe. Thankfully, that's less out of the way. Can be a little confusing down here, but it's between us and the control room anyway. Missed these last time. Now we can open the mainframe door. We couldn't before. Let's have a look around in here. Those must be some ancient noodles if this door has been sealed for 20 years. Mainframe power switch.
Minutes until we can access the mainframe. Use the intercom so I can tell you where to go next.
Completed. Boot up the mainframe. Speak with Dad over the intercom.
There are a few minor repairs still to be made up here in the control room. Why don't you come back here and give me a hand? Actually, wait. There's one other thing I need you to do. Janice says there's a blockage in one of the intake pipes. It's on your way back. Head back up to the museum level and give me a call on the intercom when you get there.
Where am I now?
You're in the security level. It's full of holding tanks for the water, as well as our processing equipment and power systems.
We completed Speak with Dad over the intercom. New goal, drain the intake pipes. Where do I go from here?
Head up to the museum level. Use the door at the north end of the level you're on now.
I have to go now.
I'll see you when you get back.
Oh, there's a footlocker here. It's empty. Go figure. Alright, back up to the museum level again. Don't worry, things are about to get a lot more interesting. Garza has appeared.
Yeah?
What's your story?
I have worked for Dr. Lee for many years. She has been good to me, helped me through some difficult times. I had little purpose in my life before she helped me. So now I help her in return. I am no scientist, but I am good with machines.
Do you think Project Purity will ever work again?
If Dr. Lee says it will work, then it will be so.
Have to go now.
Bye.
Hey,
Is this Anna or is it someone else?
Good to see you.
That's just Anna. Great pump control is over here. We can head through here. No need to crouch even though it looks short. I wonder if there's a reason they let us see out here. Grate to sift pump requires key. Activate the pipe controls. Behold. Completed. Drain the intake pipes. Return to the control room. Grate to pump control requires key. Now we can go through the sift pump. That would be the Enclave. We've seen them before, although I maintain those are glitches. They're not supposed to appear before now, but now we have the Enclave. They'll be around the rest of the game. There's one. Despite their fancy power armor and plasma rifles, they still can't really handle combat shotgun sneak attacks. As long as you get reasonably close anyway. Or manage a headshot, like so. So, let's work our way through here. Let's stay in sneak mode. Those guys. Oh, they're the most powerful human enemies in the game. They're still not as bad as mutant overlords, feral reavers, or albino rad scorpions, but they can hurt, especially if they catch sight of you with a distance and start wailing on you, at a distance, rather, and start wailing on you with their plasma rifles. So do be careful. We won't be coming back here for a long, long time, so if there's anything you want, make sure you've got it. I'm just making sure there are no extra soldiers to take out, because I aim to hit level 30 at the end of this quest. And then we'll take a break to hunt for all the attribute bobbleheads. Because we'll finally be almost perfect. Wonder if he was really the only one. Kinda looks that way, doesn't it? Oh, nice. Alright, let's have a look at what he's got. Enclave Hellfire Armor, which is pretty good, although we can't use it yet. We haven't had power armor training. Fire resistance plus 30, strength plus 1, rad resistance plus 15. Enclave Hellfire Helmet, fire resist plus 5, rad resist plus 5, charisma minus 1. And note that even in about 50% condition, it's got very near the damage resistance my fully repaired combat armor has. And he had a plasma rifle. That lot of good it did him. Alright. Well, this level's clear. Let's head on up. Looks like we got friends on this level too. I was worried about that. Damn. Maybe if I stay back here. Perfect. Good night, son. Let's see now. Plasma rifle, stim pack. This is Tesla armor and the Tesla helmet. It's not as good as Hellfire, but it's better than... The power armor usefulness progression goes Standard / Brotherhood power armor, followed by Enclave, followed by Tesla, followed by Hellfire, followed by T-51B. So this is middle of the pack as far as it goes, but I'll show you what it does. I'm not sure we've spotted it before. Gives you a 10-point boost to your energy weapon skill, which of course is redundant for us at this point with our natural 100. Any more? Yes, there's one more at least. 2 more. Awesome. Of course, it means I need to finesse my approach a little. I don't want a straight fight with Enclave soldiers, if I could ever avoid it. Oh, I bagged one.
I have no idea target. Contact another civilian. Take him down.
Yeah, I don't like the way that turned out. Not a fan of that either. Oh, come on.
Standard patrol procedure.
Much better. Just take their ammo. Even though they've got some of the best weapons and armor in the game. Still can't use power armor, and not really into their weapons. Alright. All of them dead. Let's head to the rotunda.
By the authority of the President, this facility is now under United States government control. The person in charge is to step forward immediately and turn over all materials related to this project.
That's quite impossible. This is a private project. The Enclave has no authority here. I'm going to have to ask you to leave at once.
Am I to assume, sir, that you are in charge?
Yes, I'm responsible for this project.
Then I repeat, sir, that you are hereby instructed to immediately hand over all materials related to the purifier.
I'm sorry, but that's...
Furthermore, you are to assist Enclave scientists in assuming control of the administration and operation of this facility at once.
Colonel, is it Colonel? I'm sorry, but the facility is not operational. It never has been. I'm afraid you're wasting your time here.
Sir, this is the last time I am going to repeat myself. Stand down at once and turn over control of this facility.
Colonel, I assure you that this facility will not function. We have never been able to successfully replicate test results.
I suggest you comply immediately, sir, in order to prevent any more incidents. Are we clear?
Yes, Colonel. Do whatever you want. There's no need for more violence.
Then you will immediately hand over all materials related to this project and aid us in making it operational at once.
Very well. In a few moments to bring the system online.
I grow tired of waiting.
Just another minute and I'll be done. Run. Run!
You'll note that the Colonel gave himself a shot before he went down. Let's talk to Dr. Lee.
James. He's gone. We have to get out of here. They'll be coming for us next. We've got to evacuate now.
What the hell just happened?
James, your father caused an overload. He sacrificed himself to keep the Enclave from getting the purifier and to buy us some time to escape. There'll be more of them coming. We need to get out of here before they find us, or else your father died in vain.
I'm not leaving my father in there.
There's nothing anyone can do for him now. The radiation levels in there are lethal. You'd die the same way he did. We need to get out of here now.
How do we get out of here?
We used an old abandoned tunnel as an escape route once before, many years ago. Everyone should know how to find it. We need to get there right now. Let's go.
Completed. Return to the control room. Escort Dr. Lee to the evacuation point. Out we go. Thankfully, this area stays clear. Here's the manhole to the Taft Tunnels.
I'm watching you.
Garza, Alex, Daniel, and Dr. Lee are all still here. Let's talk to her.
Don't wander off. We're going to need you.
Excuse me?
You heard me. We need you right now. You're the only one here with any amount of combat experience. We've got the Enclave behind us, and who knows what ahead of us. If we're going to make it through here, we need your help.
You're right. What do you need me to do?
We need to stick together, but we need to move quickly. We'll follow behind you, all right? Let's get moving.
Wait here. I'll scout ahead.
Are you sure? I don't want to stay in one place for too long.
Completed. Escort Dr. Lee to the evacuation point. New goal. Escort Dr. Lee through Taft Tunnel to the Citadel. I highly recommend having them wait. Otherwise, they'll fuck up your sneaking, and they'll all get killed anyway. There's an Enclave Eyebot. It's not hostile. And further, I don't think it actually spotted me, so I don't care too much. Alright. Let's just search our way along. Nothing up there, it seems. Here we got buff out into toy car. Strange, but it is what it is. Is there anything down here? There's a lot of rad barrels. I don't think there's anything past here. Nope. That's purely an opportunity to get radiated, so... Scrap metal and wonder glue, not bad.
Greetings, dearest America. This is your president, John Henry Eden. Let's chat, shall we?
I'm gonna start blowing Eyebots now, because, frankly, I now view them as bad. Got some cans on the ground.
I've been thinking quite a bit lately about something we can all relate to. Something that is...
There's a Med-X on the ground.
Our great national pastime, baseball. Or so it had.
Over here we have some rads. We got turpentine and a pencil. Tucked away in the corner, there's some rad away. I don't like leaving them too far behind me. Oh, Nuka-Cola, almost missed that. No, there's a bed here. Can rest if needed. I'm gonna go grab my entourage and bring them up to the room with the bed.
What is it?
Let's get moving. Follow me.
We'll be right behind you. Be careful.
Make sure everybody made it. sure where Alex is.
What is it?
Wait here.
Are you sure?
Where's Alex? There he is. Alright, good. Alright, forward. Gonna pop the eyebot when it gets here. There's a can there, and you will note Enclave soldiers on a balcony in here. Overflow door control is locked very hard. Hacking it gets you a shortcut. Not bad. I'm not going to take the shortcut. I just want the XP for hacking. Oh, actually, do let me open it right quick. We got ghouls here. Oh, that's just a roamer. I thought it was a reaver. That's why I reloaded. Got panicky for no reason. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Really? Seriously? There we go. We got Jet.
Tune in later for our 5-day forecast. Until next time, this is and you're listening to Galaxy News Radio, bringing you the truth, no matter how bad it hurts. Now, some music.
I believe we're eventually able to get here anyway. But I'm gonna wait until I get to where the loop actually closes. Footlocker with a power fist, a Braxo, bottle cap mine, turpentine, and a couple of cans. Just a radio here. So over here we got some jets. And a door to Taft Tunnel, as opposed to Taft Tunnels.
The issue at hand is, well, my presidency. The question
We got
has been
some
raised,
psycho.
I know, as to just how I came
We can't go any further. We need to stop.
this most,
Why would we stop now?
Garza has a heart condition.
whether or not
I
I
don't.
had been elected at all.
We can.
So that
I didn't want Dr. Lee to come. So, we'll leave it there for now. We'll find our way back to that little spot, I suppose. So, let's head in here. Note that we need to splatter these Enclave guys if we want to loot them. Which I, of course, do. So, Come on. I splattered him a minute ago. It didn't work. Why isn't it working? Oh well. Now let's get over behind this one. Good. Managed to loot one of them at least.
Enemy reacquired.
That was awesome.
Cancel alert.
Darn. There we go. 2 more dead Enclave guys. Take his stuff. Take his stuff. That door is inaccessible. I think that one is the only one we couldn't loot. I'll go ahead and nab his stuff. Empty trash bin, that's fine. Get the scrap metal out of there. And we should be good to go. Note the Chinese Army Spec Ops training manual here. Superfluous, of course. Sugar bombs are not. Chinese assault rifle, Chinese commando hat. I don't think I've seen one of those before. Dirty Chinese jumpsuit. It's all kind of fun, at least. Now, killing the Enclave is simply another way to open that door, as it turns out. So let's make sure.
What is it?
They stay here.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Now we've dealt with the ghouls. Which is good. And we've actually already cleared this area. So we'll just continue to the Taft Tunnel. And that should result in them coming after me. Get the Wonder Glue out of this toolbox. Psycho,
we can't
scrap.
go any further. We need to stop.
Why would we stop now?
Garza has a heart condition. He needs medicine or he may not make it. I'm not moving until he gets the medicine he needs.
What can I do to help?
I don't have sufficient medical supplies with me, or else this wouldn't be a problem. If you have any stim packs, I would ask that you hand them over.
Here, take some stim packs. That should get him through.
Yes, this looks to be enough. He'll need medical attention once we've reached the Citadel, but this will get him there. Thank you. Give me a moment, and we can continue.
5 stim packs removed. New goal, deal with the Garza situation. which is now completed.
I'm feeling better already. Let us continue and not waste more time here.
What is it?
Wait
Are
here.
you sure? I don't want to stay in one place for too long.
Democracy, dear America. Democracy.
Dogmeat has arrived. Stay. Stay! Not sure how that happened. We need to get Dogmeat is waiting outside of Vault 101. Okay, that's fine. Trying to find Daniel and Alex.
Got some great news out of the town of Megaton. Turns out the live atomic bomb...
They've disappeared. Guess it doesn't matter. Here we go. In this room, the Enclave soldiers are above where we came in. You can see one right there. I was even able to bag him. How nice. Oh, that one was very close. Ah! What else do I have? Not much. I might be able to get a headshot with my reservist's rifle. Oh. Not a headshot. 2 bullets, no damage. I'll take it. Alright. Again. If you give them, you can get at their loot. I prefer to just do it. Nothing in here. That's fine. Let's go this direction. Footlocker has some okay stuff in it. There's an iBot helmet. I don't know if we've seen one of those before or not, but they're not awesome. Turpentine and a crutch. And apparently, A feral. A glowing one at that. Drop him. Grab a leaf blower. Give a feral. I think that Enclave soldier has a scripted death because anything other than a Reaver he could probably handle in a straight fight. Alright. Path has split, north or south. Let's head south first. To a medical room of some sort. Note you can actually take blood packs out of these IV stands. I didn't know that. Rad-X and stims. Jet on the desk. More jet on the floor. Radaway and turpentine. That's fine. Now let's head north. There's a red hash mark. There's another one. North and south. And head south first. Couple of roamers. No big deal. South is basically a dead end, but there is a Nuka-Cola Quantum on the table, and a copy of Nikola Tesla and You. Redundant to me, but maybe not to you. Let's head north now. Note there's yet another red mark. And in fact, that ghoul is apparently about to come out this door. Or maybe he just hangs out there. More ghouls incoming. Bobby pin, red pass card. Whatever. Is there anything in this room? There's a toolbox tucked away in the very back. Is that all? Looks like it. Alright, that's fine. There's another toolbox, a couple of sensors in it. Oh, this is interesting. We have a hard locked door here. Some green hash marks behind this door. Apparently can be opened with that electrical switch. Before we do that, let's pop open this hard lock and check out the rest of the hostile tunnels, so to speak. Looks like a lot of ghouls. We'll have to jump to get to that ammo box. Everybody loves platforming in a first-person game, right? What's up, dude? Well, shoot. We need to try not to get spotted by that Reaver. So as you can see, he'll set off the gas, and that's just all sorts of bad. So now, thing number one, we can search his two buddies that we killed. Caps on the one. And on the other. Now let's get up behind him and deal with him properly. The way we have dealt with his compatriots before him. Like so. I'll even take his metro ticket, thank you very much. So back here. Our prize for this little side exploration is this average locked safe, plus the XP from killing those ghouls. Let's see, we got some cans and a Braxo and turpentine on this desk. And then there's nothing for it but to hit that electrical switch and open the door. Couple of turrets and a Brotherhood Paladin. Or initiate.
This ain't a tourist trap. You civilians get topside immediately.
Once we advance into the room, a bunch of ferals spawn in. They tend to murder our dear initiate quite handily, as you can see. Turrets, on the other hand, can do the job pretty well. So let's see. Search the glowing one, search the roamer, search the Reaver, search the initiate, take his holo tag, search the other Reaver, search another glowing one, search that last roamer. Hooray! So now let's take a look at these shelves. We got ammo, we got first aid, more ammo, right-away, ammo, 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 a sensor. And that'll about do it as we make our way up and out to the Capital Wasteland. Garza and Dr. Lee are here. Who knows what happened to Alex and Daniel? It has vanished. Huh, there are those raiders back there. That's always fun. Dr. Lee will get us in.
Dr. Madison Lee. I have people with me in need of shelter. You must allow us access at once.
I'm sorry, ma'am. No unauthorized civilians allowed inside the Citadel. You'll have to leave now.
Lions! I know you're in there! I know you can hear me! You open this goddamn door right now!
Well, now we're free to explore the Citadel, it would seem. We'll let Dr. Lee go in first, and we'll follow her. There we have completed the Waters of Life. Quest added, picking up the trail. Should have an objective someplace. Escort Dr. Lee inside the Citadel. Well, by all means, let's do.
You honor us with your presence here.
Madison, I'm surprised to see you here. What can I do for you?
Don't talk down to me, Lions. I had nowhere else to turn. You must help us. Project Purity has been overrun.
Yes, I'd heard reports of an incident there. What details can you give us?
The Enclave. They've attacked Project Purity. James is dead. There may be more. I don't know. You have to do something.
Then it's as we feared. Madison, I'm sorry this happened. I wish we could have done something.
Then do something now. They've taken over the Purifier. Lions, they cannot be permitted to have control over it. It's not right.
No, calm down. You know as well as I do that the Purifier doesn't work. It's useless to them. Perhaps it's time to walk away.
That's not true. James, he found what's been missing. We know how to get it running.
Is that so? Does the Enclave know this?
No, I don't think... I don't know. I just don't know what's happening anymore.
All right, Madison, it'll be okay. Now, this is James's son, I presume? I can see the resemblance.
Yes. He knows what we need. Vault-Tec computer, something to locate equipment. Please help him.
Very well, we'll sort this all out. Hail.
I need to rest, lie down or something. This is just too much. Rothschild should help you, but don't forget that he's Brotherhood. I've never trusted them. Be careful what you tell them.
Completed. Escort Dr. Lee inside the Citadel. Ask Scribe Rothschild for pre-war computer access. We will, but let's talk to Elder Lyons.
You have my condolences. Your father was a good man.
I found a Brotherhood holotag. What should I do with it?
Talk to Scribe Jameson. She is our keeper of the scrolls. She will want to know what you have found.
Where can I find Scribe Jameson?
She spends most of her time in the archives. You'll find them in A-Ring, near the Great Hall.
Can you tell me about the outcasts?
The outcasts are a result of my greatest mistake, but a mistake I'm proud of nonetheless. When I came here, I realized for the first time that the Brotherhood's technology could truly save the survivors in this wasteland. I chose to help them, even if it meant putting the Brotherhood's interests at risk. Some of my soldiers called me a hero. Others called me a traitor. The dissenters left my command, calling themselves outcasts to mock me. I cannot fault their dedication, even if I find them lacking in compassion.
I thought the protection of humanity was a part of the Brotherhood's oaths.
Only in a very broad sense. The Brotherhood's oaths are to protect humanity's progress, but not necessarily every human. The outcasts and members of the Brotherhood in other places consider it a waste to protect most people. After all, they say, everyone knows how to make another human, but the secrets to making a P-94 plasma rifle are all but lost.
How do your remaining soldiers feel about the outcasts?
Even now, a year after they left, the wounds of their departure are still sore. Some of my soldiers are angry about it. They see it as an insult to me. Bless them for their loyalty. They're more angry about it than I ever was. Others understand their decision. Sometimes I hear them wondering if they should have gone with them. I can't blame them, but I stand by my decision, and I respect theirs.
Has your decision been worth it?
Has it been worth the cost in lives and resources to protect people like you from the super mutants? You tell me. I suspect my daughter's squad helped save your life, and most of our recent recruits have come from those we've saved over the years. It's cost us, but we've saved many lives, and made the capital wasteland a place where people can live. Yes, I'd say that's been worth it.
That's enough about the outcasts.
Yes, let's speak of other things.
What do you know about the Enclave?
More than anyone else, I dare say. Certainly enough to know they're the greatest threat the capital wasteland has ever faced. The Brotherhood of Steel has encountered the Enclave before, you see. Over 30 years ago, back in California. Then they were led by a President Richardson. Now we've got this Eden to contend with. It matters not now. As before, they seek to control and destroy. All in the guise of restoring order. Your father, I fear, was just the beginning.
I'd like to know more about the Brotherhood of Steel.
The Brotherhood is an old organization going back to the years just after the war. We are but a part of it. What would you like to know?
If you're just a part of the Brotherhood, where's the rest of it?
The Brotherhood began on the West Coast. It exists there still. We were dispatched to this location many years ago. In truth, the Brotherhood of Steel has been struggling for years, both here and back home. Honor, truth, courage. These virtues seem to have little meaning in these troubled times, I'm afraid.
Why are you here in the capital wasteland?
Ah, no. That's the real question, isn't it? Our orders were, and are, to acquire any and all advanced technology. And we have, to the best of our abilities. But when I realized the extent of the super mutant threat, I felt it was my responsibility to aid the people in their struggle against them. Unfortunately, my superiors back west disagree with my assessment of the situation. They feel I've grown too attached to the local populace. And they're right. In any event, the Enclave's arrival changes everything.
How long have you been here?
It's been over 20 years since we arrived, and we've been struggling to contain and eradicate the super mutants for nearly as long. With the arrival of the Enclave, I have a terrible feeling the super mutants are the least of our worries.
That's all I wanted to know.
So be it.
I'd like to know more about the Brotherhood of Steel.
What more did you want to know?
Anything you can tell me about the super mutants?
Would you believe no? It's pathetic, really, considering we've been fighting those abominations for nearly 20 years. In all that time, all we've managed to do is to contain the threat, hold them back so they don't overrun every blasted settlement out here. But we don't really know anything. Where they're from, why they've infested the DC ruins. And now here we are, holed up in our Citadel.
Low on resources, low on troops. It's enough to make an old man so very tired.
Can someone in the Citadel train me to wear power armor?
Why, yes. Yes, indeed, there is someone. Our intrepid Paladin Gunny trains all initiates in the use of power armor. When they're ready. Under the circumstances, I will allow Gunny to train you as well. You'll find him in the Bailey. I will send word that I've given my approval.
I have to go now.
Steel be with you.
Let's talk to Dr. Lee and Garza before they leave.
I need to collect my wits and...
Hey there. And I have work to do.
Let's try talking to Sentinel Lions.
You just managed to get yourself into all sorts of trouble, don't you? Welcome to the Citadel. Not many civilians get to see the place.
Can someone in the Citadel train me to wear power armor?
Paladin Gunny instructs all initiates in the use of power armor, but only after they've undergone a rigorous training regimen. Considering all that's happened, my father may grant you special permission, but you'll need to ask him yourself.
So, any thoughts on the Enclave?
I've read the reports, seen the initial scans, but I can hardly believe it. I figured those radio transmissions were just old recordings. Never figured the Enclave would actually show up, in the flesh. But don't worry. Whatever they try, we'll be ready for it. I'll lead the Pride to knock them out tomorrow, if my father permits it.
Care to share anything about the super mutants?
You've seen them, so you know what we know. What more is there to say? If we can figure out where they're coming from, we might be able to stop them. If not...
What can you tell me about the Lion's Pride?
It's the best of the Brotherhood, bar none. No one gets in without my say-so.
I have to go now.
In my father's name, I bid you farewell.
Alright, let's see who else we got out here. Brotherhood of Steel Knight, there's the main entrance. 2 knights guarding the door to A-Ring. Another door to A-Ring. Now you can really tell we're in the old Pentagon. What about up here? Just a knight. In here, who are these guys? 2 initiates. Sparring, it would seem. Well, let's check this door. The laboratory. Okay. Up here is... nothing. Well, that's fine, though.
Hail.
Got 3 initiates.
Your presence here.
Here's Paladin Gunny.
Initiate, you've got a lot of nerve to interrupt... Oh, my apologies, stranger. I thought you were one of these worthless initiates. I swear these kids would be lost without me here to powder their asses.
What do you do here?
I am charged with the duty of turning these maggots into brothers of steel. With the threat of the Enclave, they're likely going to be pressed into service before they've taken the oath. So I've got a lot of work to do.
Can you train me to use power armor?
Heard you were coming. Yeah, I can train you, but don't ask me to like it. My initiates sweat blood, and you just get a free pass? Anyway, you ready for this? Now look, to wear power armor, first thing you need to do is relax your muscles. Let the suit do the work, okay? Now you.
Perk added. You have received the specialized training needed to move in any form of power armor.
What aid can I offer you, outsider?
So, any thoughts on the Enclave?
Killing unarmed civilians makes me sick. Come over here. Try fighting someone who shoots back. Fucking cowards.
Care to share anything about the super mutants?
Why do you think I ride these initiates so hard? I make training hell, so fighting those uglies won't be.
Have to go now.
If you'll excuse me, I need to go show these fish how to shoot straight.
There we go. Now we can use power armor. Let's see what else we got. Another initiate. More initiates. Just doing target practice. It's fine. Doesn't seem to be anything over here on the left. Well, all seems pretty straightforward. Alrighty. Let's go explore A-Ring. Although actually, before I do anything else, let's go refresh my well-rested bonus. Vault 101 emergency frequency signal found. We'll check that later. Alright, in here go Nuka-Cola and the Quantum. Crutch, leaf blower, paint gun, sensors, cans, and all that. Yes, I got stuff out on purpose. Sugar bombs go in. Hollow tags come out. Alrighty. Let's deradiate ourselves. Let's stash the Abraxo that I missed the first go round. Stash my explosives. Alrighty. Let's go visit Walter. Turn in all the scrap metal we're carrying.
Huh? Yeah. Well, all right.
Let's go to Arlington Library now. Turn in all the pre-war books we've gathered.
If you have any pre-war books, I'll take them.
There's a turpentine I missed ages ago when we were here.
Excellent. Very well.
Now let's go back to Megaton one more time. We are going to clear the Citadel in this same video. Don't worry about that. I'll properly visit it and accrue our next steps, you know, all that business. So let's drop in that turpentine I found. Might as well visit Doc Hoff. Offload our weightless stuff. Undergo any repairs.
Looking for your fix? Let's see what the good doctor has in his magic bag, shall we? Give me a shout if you need anything.
Now we'll return to the Citadel. And we'll go check out the A-ring. You'll notice I brought my holo tags with me. Let's head into A-ring. Great Hall.
Need something, friend?
You honor us with your presence here.
A lot of people to talk to. For now. Archives, B-ring. Brotherhood of Steel Scribe. Maxon Archive Terminal. Let's look at this first. Welcome, brother. Maxon Family Dossiers. Roger Maxon. Born, N.A., died, 2135. Second in command of the security team stationed at the West Tech Research Facility, later relocated to the Mariposa military base. Assumed command after nervous breakdown of security team leader Colonel Robert Spindle. Executed scientists after learning of their research into the Forced Evolutionary Virus, or FEV. Deserted from military just before the war. Maxon ordered the families of all base personnel brought inside the facility, thereby sparing their lives. Led survivors in their exodus to the Lost Hills bunker. Maxon's wife was killed on the journey. At Lost Hills, Roger Maxon formed the Brotherhood of Steel. As the organization's first High Elder, he formed the orders of Paladins, Knights, and Scribes. A lot of this ties into Fallout 1 if you've played it. Maxon II. Born, N.A., teenager of unspecified age in 2077. Died, 2155. Took over command of the Brotherhood of Steel as High Elder in 2135 when his father Roger Maxon died of cancer. In 2155, while hunting down a group of raiders known as the Vipers, Maxon, who was unhelmeted at the time, was grazed in the head by an arrow. A deadly viper poison killed him within hours. John Maxon. Born 2097, died, N.A., son of Maxon II and grandson of Roger Maxon. A gifted soldier, John Maxon was promoted to the rank of Paladin at age 38 in the year 2135. Soon after, he was promoted once more to head Paladin. In 2155, Maxon was promoted to the illustrious position of High Elder when his father Maxon II was killed in glorious battle with the raiders known as Vipers. Records indicate John Maxon had some dealings with a mysterious figure identified only as the Vault Dweller in the year 2162 at the age of 65. New entry, Scribe Arthur Maxon. Born 2267, died. Only son of Jonathan and Jessica, both deceased. Last of the Maxon bloodline. As an infant, sent to the Citadel to be fostered by Elder Owen Lyons. The reason for this decision was twofold. 1. Recent internal conflict amongst the Western Brotherhood of Steel created an unsafe environment for the child. It was believed that the Citadel, despite being located in hostile territory, would increase his probability of survival. 2. Elder Lyons at that time was in high favor with the Western Elders and deemed a perfect candidate to provide care and training to the Squire. Recent events have led to a lack of communication with the Western Elders. As a result, Squire Maxon will remain at the Citadel indefinitely. Back. State of Maxon. The state of Maxon in the New California Republic was built in close proximity to the Lost Hills bunker and enjoyed the protection of the Brotherhood of Steel. No additional information is available at this time. Diary of Roger Maxon, Volume 1. Excuse me. October 10, 2077. I, Roger Maxon, Captain, serial number 072389, have started this log because it doesn't look good for any of us, and I'd like for people to know what really happened here. All hell broke loose when we finally discovered what those scientist bastards were up to. The Colonel has locked himself in his office and seems to be having some sort of breakdown. The men are screaming for blood. They're looking to me for answers, and I'm not sure what to do. Someone has to do something, though, before this place sinks into an anarchistic bloodbath. October 12, 2077. Every time we get a report from higher up, things get worse here. The war is going in a very bad direction, and this place is about to go into full mutiny with all the chaos that entails. I stopped one of the men from executing a scientist today, and demanded that we interrogate them to find out what their orders were. October 13, 2077. I killed a man today. I was interrogating Chief Scientist Anderson, and he was giving me the full details of their inhuman experiments. He said his orders came from the government, but I didn't buy it. He started screaming about how he was following orders, how he was a military man, and I just shot him. I tell myself it was to keep him from causing a full mutiny among the men, but I'm not so sure. October 15th, 2077. I tried again to speak to the Colonel through the door, but he seems to have completely lost touch with reality. I broke down the door with several of the men just in time to watch him blow his head off. Right before he pulled the trigger, he said he was sorry. October 18th, 2077. By killing the egghead, I seem to have confirmed my position as leader of the men. They follow me without question now. The interrogations invariably end up being executions. Shellman held out the longest, but the end result was the same. Her arguments about her orders were a bit too specific to be completely made up. I'm getting a real bad feeling in my gut about how this is all going to end up. I don't even lie to myself anymore about my reasons for executing the scientists. October 20th, 2077. I finally replied to the outside world over our radio. I don't know why they never sent anyone here to see what was happening when we stopped responding to their transmissions. It doesn't make any sense. Well, they'll come now. I declared ourselves seceded from the Union. They remember Jefferson Davis. What will history say about me? Diary of Roger Maxson, Volume 2. October 22nd, 2077. What the hell is going on? We declare ourselves to be in full desertion from the Army and no longer under the government's command, and what happens? Nothing. Something bad is coming down. October 23rd, 2077. I can't believe those bastards finally did it. Damn them all to hell. They finally let the A-bombs fly. We were right in the middle of trying to pry the real story out of von Felden when we completely lost contact. I have a feeling the research center was hit hard. I don't know why, just call it a gut feeling. It seems inconceivable that we were not targeted. I'm sure China will make up for that oversight real soon. Luckily, we had moved our families from outside into the facility the day before yesterday. We do not yet know if the fallout has reached this area. October 25th, 2077. Sergeant Plattner volunteered to go outside today to take specific readings on the atmosphere. It seems the radiation has not spread this far. Since he was wearing his power armor, there was no threat to him from radiation, but if he had been exposed, he would have had to be exiled. We don't have adequate decontamination facilities here. October 26th, 2077. I convinced the men that we should bury the scientists. I don't know why. Perhaps it was to ease my conscience. I finally started to believe their stories when the last one was dying. My God, what have I become? October 27th, 2077. We're leaving this godforsaken place today. I'm leading the exodus to the old government bunker at Lost Hills. I'm leaving this log behind to be buried when this place goes in the next exchange. Who knows, maybe someone will find it someday. Back, and we're done here. Those diaries of Roger Maxson, by the way, are text lifted straight from Fallout 1, because you find that diary inside the military base in that game. Alright, let's have a look at the Vault-Tec terminal. Did I download any notes? No. Vault-Tec Administration System Records Database 923A. Network offline. Please check your local connection. DC area vault listings. Vault 76. Equipment issuances. Vault number 76, starting construction date February 2065, ending construction date October 2069. Total number of occupants 500, total duration 240 months, computer control system brain power 4, primary power supply light life geothermal, secondary power supply general atomics nuclear power, non-standard equipment none. Personnel assignments. Vault 76 goal summary. Vault 76 is one of our 17 control vaults. It will operate exactly according to the plan dictated in the marketing manual produced by Vault-Tec and precisely to resident expectations. This vault will open automatically after a period of 20 years, and the residents will be pushed back into the open world for study in comparison to the other experiments. Project goals. Access restricted. Vault 87. Equipment issuances. Vault number 87. Completed. Ask Scribe Rothschild for pre-war computer access. Ask Scribe Rothschild for information about Vault 87. Vault number 87, starting construction date May 2066, ending construction date December 2071. Total number of occupants redacted, total duration redacted, computer control system Cyberbrain V2.3, primary power supply General Atomics nuclear power, secondary power supply VersaCore fusion power, non-standard equipment stasis chamber 4, plasma containment field 3, GEC 1, food processing station 6. Unexpected end of file data corruption detected. Personnel assignments. Error. Files corrupted. Please reinstall operating system software. Null. Back. Project goals. Access restricted. Vault 92. Equipment issuances. Vault number 92, starting construction date May 2062, ending construction date May 2068, total number of occupants 245, total duration 100 years, computer control system Brain Power 7, primary power supply General Atomics nuclear power, secondary power supply none, non-standard equipment, sound equipment itemized in Memo 3287462A, musical instruments itemized in Memo 926-75634C, recording equipment itemized in Memo 56197J. Recall that Vault 92 is where the one we're supposed to find for Agatha's song. Personnel assignments. Error. File corruption detected. Please reinstall operating system software. Project goals. Access restricted. Alright. Vault 101. Equipment issuances. Error. Files corrupted. Please reinstall operating system software. Null. Personnel assignments. Error. A network connection could not be found. Project goals. Access restricted. Alright. Vault 106. We've been there. It's where we found the science bobblehead. Equipment issuances. Vault number 106, starting construction date March 2064, ending construction date December 2069. Total number of occupants 95 subjects, 12 researchers. Total duration 147 months. Computer control system Think Machine 2800X. Primary power supply Rock Solid brand geothermal. Secondary power supply General Atomics nuclear power. Personnel assignments. Overseer Dr. Albert Laris, additional personnel, archivist's note. This information has been redacted at the request of Dr. Albert Laris of the Psychological Research Department and Chief Overseer of the Vault 106 project. All inquiries into the goals and research methods of Vault 106 are to be directed through his office. Project goals. Archivist's note, this information has been redacted at the request of Dr. Albert Laris of the Psychological Research Department and Chief Overseer of the Vault 106 project. All inquiries into the goals and research methods of Vault 106 are to be directed through his office. Vault 108, we have not found that one yet. Equipment issuances. Vault number 108, starting construction date March 2061, ending construction date December 2069 due to work stoppage. Total number of occupants 475, total duration 38 years. Computer control system none. Primary power supply General Atomics nuclear power. Note, main supply designed to fail after 240 months. Secondary power supply steam whistle mini geothermal. Note from admin, we are aware that the steam whistle is only sufficient to power this project partially. Please do not file any further reports on this issue. Non-standard equipment, defensive weaponry, triple normal issue. Note, do not stock with standard entertainment. Personnel assignments. Overseer, Brody Jones. Chief of Staff, Zachary K. Jameson. Chief of Security, Jarek Maddox. Morale Officer, Nathan Oregon. Researcher note, all standard positions have been intentionally left unfilled and will be assigned by the Overseer according to the Vault 108 protocols. According to the pre-assignment medical tests, Mr. Jones has a genetic disposition for a rare terminal strain of cancer, which should ideally cause him to expire within 40 months of the project's inception. These two events should combine to allow a proper catalyst that allows this project to continue as planned. Interesting. Project goals. Error, file corruption detected. Please reinstall operating system software. And finally, Vault 112. Vault 112 information. Equipment issuances. Vault number 112, starting construction date November 2068, ending construction date June 2074, total number of occupants 85, total duration indefinitely, computer control system Think Machine 3600R, primary power supply Sure Power geothermal, secondary power supply Extra Sure Power geothermal, non-standard equipment 12 147C robots, caretaker variation, 85 stasis pods, list of liquid nutrients detailed in Memo 943B2. That's where we found Dad and Dr. Braun. Personnel assignments. Overseer, Dr. Stanislaus Braun. Additional personnel, researcher's note. Due to the nature of the project in Vault 112 and the highly automated systems designed to support it, the Vault requires only a single administrator. Project goals, access restricted. Alright, back. Vault Tech personnel assignments. Error, file corruption detected, please reinstall operating system software. Order requisition forms. Error, file corruption detected, please reinstall operating system software.
I have those results you asked for.
Scribe.
I sent them over to your
Here's
station.
Scribe Jameson.
Hail, outsider. I am Scribe Jameson. Word of your ordeal has spread. I am truly sorry for the loss of your father. But if I can help you in any way, please let me know.
I have some questions about the Brotherhood.
Ah, one of my favorite subjects, of course. What would you like to know?
What does the Brotherhood believe?
We believe in technology, in the triumph of the creations of the ancients, over the horrors and evils of the wasteland. We believe in trust. Trust in technology. Trust in our fellow brothers. Trust in our elders. Ah, and we believe in victory. Our forces have dwindled, but still we fight on. Super Mutant, Enclave, it matters not. Surrender is not an option.
Who are the members of the Brotherhood?
Elder Lyons leads us. Star Paladin Cross is his seneschal. Sentinel Lyons, the Elder's daughter, commands the Lion's Pride, our elite combat squad. The Paladins lead the Knights. The Knights are the core of the Brotherhood. They scour the waste to eliminate evil and recover technology. Scribe Rothschild oversees the scribes in their duties to seek knowledge and restore the technology the Brotherhood has acquired.
What about the Brotherhood's history in this area?
We first arrived in the capital wasteland in 2255. In those first couple of years, we discovered the Citadel, Super Mutants, and Project Purity. Ah, the Purifier. What an undertaking. The work your father and his team did was amazing. The Brotherhood helped protect them, you know, at least for a little while. But we were stretched thin as it was, even back then. We had to pull our forces out. When we did, the place was overrun. I imagine that's when your father left. I'm sorry. I wish things had turned out differently.
That's all I need to know.
Very well.
I found a Brotherhood holotag. What should I do with it?
You have? Oh my. This brings to light a sad affair for the Brotherhood. But perhaps it is something that you can assist us with. If you have the time, I have an offer for you.
Sure, I've got all the time in the world.
Good. As I'm sure you've noticed, the Brotherhood operates all over the DC ruins, often detached from the main base here at the Citadel. We're short on communication equipment, so many of the groups in the field operate as independent cells, without standing orders. Sometimes, I'm afraid that their missions end in their deaths. As Keeper of the Scrolls, it's my charge to write of each fallen brother's deeds.
And without radio equipment, you can't keep track of them?
Exactly. A brother fallen in the field may have no one to carry word of his death back to me. In calmer times, we could send detachments and messengers to learn their fates, but with our manpower stretched thin, we have no such luxury. Which is why I must now ask you for your help. Each brother wears a holotag like the one you found. Should you find any of the fallen brethren in the field, I ask that you return their tags to me, so that I might record their deeds in the scrolls.
Note added, Scribe Jameson's report to Elder Lyons. What are the scrolls that you mentioned?
Scrolls are kept by the head librarian of each Brotherhood bunker. The scrolls are a record of the Brotherhood itself. Into each scroll is written the name and deeds of each of our brothers. Battles, what technology is recovered, when he was promoted, everything. The last entry for each brother is that brother's death. It is important, as the way a man dies is just as important as the manner in which he lives. And so, each man who nobly serves the Brotherhood ascends into our history, to be remembered by those who come after him,
Where can I find holotags?
They are on our fallen brothers throughout the DC ruins. However, I can't give you a full report on the locations of all of our operations. As I said, many of the units in the field operate independently, sometimes not reporting into the Citadel for weeks or months.
Why can't you send your own people to find the holotags?
As I told you, with the increase in super mutant activity and Elder Lion's edicts regarding our goals, we are critically short on manpower. Any soldier that I would ask to do this task is one less soldier fighting in the field or defending the Citadel. As much as I hate to involve outsiders, it is necessary if I am to properly maintain the scrolls to honor the dead.
What's my reward if I bring you these holotags?
We have access to a great deal of technology, and because of that, there are a number of things that we can continue to produce. I will be able to offer you caps for the tags you bring me, but from time to time, I will be able to give you something a bit more interesting.
I wanted to ask about the holotags.
Yes, what about them?
I had a few questions about them.
It is my duty to provide knowledge that benefits the Brotherhood.
Let's talk about something else.
As you wish. Just remember, more tags, more reward. I know how you outsiders think.
Tell me a little bit about the scribes.
Well, there are a number of orders within the scribes, each dedicated to a specific area of research.
What are the orders?
The Order of the Sword is responsible for weapons research and development. Guns, ammunition, anything of a defensive nature. Defensive research is done by the Order of the Shield. Power armor, defensive structures, anything that is intended to protect us. The Order of the Quill preserves the written knowledge of the ancients, seeking out all manner of books and holotapes.
What order are you a part of?
Actually, I am Proctor of the Order of the Quill. I oversee the archives and library here in the Citadel. We are dedicated to preserving the history of the Brotherhood, as well as unearthing the secrets of the pre-war civilizations. We have a single field associate, Scribe Yearling. She operates out of the former Library of Congress to the northeast.
That's all I needed.
Very well.
So, any thoughts on the Enclave?
Quite a few. But most are distinctly unladylike and unworthy of discussion. I will tell you that the Brotherhood has encountered the Enclave before, and their motives were just as sinister then as they are now.
Care to share anything about the super mutants?
The Brotherhood has been battling super mutants for decades. First out west, then in Chicago, now here. But this group of super mutants is different somehow. Physically, yes, but mentally as well. If we knew where they came from, we'd know why.
Wanted to ask about the holotags. I've found some holotags.
Have you? It saddens me to hear of my fallen brethren, but their names and deeds shall be records. Tell me, how many have you found?
Take all the holotags I have.
Their names shall be written into the scrolls, to be remembered forever. As for you, here's your reward. Use it well and in good health.
There we go. I have to go now.
I look forward to our next meeting.
Alrighty, let's check this room. Anonymous scribes. Here's a Pentagon library terminal. Report on UFO codenamed Palandine. Further investigations into the UFO codenamed Palandine have confirmed our suspicions. On the evening of May 3rd, 2062, an alien craft of unknown make and origin did indeed breach the airspace just north of Hagerstown, Maryland, and crashed into a heavily wooded non-residential area. Unfortunately, attempts to retrieve the craft proved unsuccessful. It simply could not be located, either due to some kind of advanced invisibility shielding or because the occupants managed to make repairs and vacate the crash site before our arrival. Despite our failure of recovery, the significance of this event cannot be denied. We are not alone. Project Brainstorm Report. Brainstorm Military Cultural Center 2076 Progress Report. Our flagship project, the Induced Patriotism Initiative, has met with resounding success. Our agents have successfully included covert and overt messages of extreme patriotism and loyalty into popular media, ranging from the big screen to the Sunday funnies. Increased military enrollment amongst target demographics serves to underline this success. Agent Webb has been particularly effective at influencing the music industry, and he has interesting proposals for the fields of organized sports and even such notoriously difficult markets as comic books and toys. Success in these areas would ensure early education with our message, and thus ensure a more dedicated and devoted nation for us all. Mission Cloacina Report. Codename Cloacina. Development Report. Development of the mutant undermining life form continues apace, and our chief bioengineers are certain that they will be able to perfect these living weapons in time for deployment into Red China. Once covertly released into an enemy's environment, their aggressive qualities, dangerous hunger, and pervasive breeding should severely undermine the infrastructure of the location in short order, softening the target for ground invasion. At this point, the genetic kill switch can be activated, allowing for easy reclamation, not including a significant one-time cleanup effort. Current MUL development primarily uses genetic stock of rodents, particularly the common sewer rat, and progress has been significant. FEV testing has been rejected, however, as the results are sterile. Interesting.
I have those results you asked for.
Knight Artemis.
What aid can I offer you, outsider?
You must see a lot of things. What's been going on?
What's been going on? Well, let's see. For years, we've been draining our resources defending the ungrateful residents of this no-man's land. Most of my best friends have either been ripped apart by super mutants or left to join the outcasts. And now an enemy we faced more than 30 years ago has resurfaced, and their tech is still better than ours. What's been going on with you?
Outcasts? Who are they?
I really don't want to go into it. Go bug Scribe Bowditch. He could talk a dog off a meat truck.
I have a few questions about the Citadel.
I can help with that. What do you need?
Can you describe the layout of the Citadel?
You are currently in A Ring. Here you will find the Great Hall, the Lion's Den, and the Archives. Beyond this area is B Ring, quarters for the Knights, Scribes, and Elder Lions. Outside in the Bailey are the training areas and access to the Initiates Barracks. Other than that, down those steps is the lab. Be careful around there. The Scribes are touchy about who goes near their toys.
Do you have a medic?
You could say that. We have an old robo-doc. He's a bit creepy, but he does the job. You'll find him in B Ring.
I need some supplies. Who would I see about that?
Well, any one of us would see Knight Captain Durga down in the lab, but since you're an outsider, you'll need permission from Elder Lions.
That's all I needed.
Very well.
So, any thoughts on the Enclave?
As if we didn't have enough to worry about. Their weapons are better. Their power armor is better. Is their training better? We'll see.
I have a few questions about the Citadel.
What do you need to find?
Care to share anything about the super mutants?
You know how many uglies I've killed? More than all of Lion's Pride combined. That's how many. All it takes is a loaded weapon and the will to use it. Oh, and a good way to get ugly blood out of your armor. Little bit of Abraxo and some water. Works like a charm.
I have to go now.
Of course.
Alright, let's check this hallway. B-ring this way. We have been in the archives, I think. So let's take that Nuka-Cola. Here's a little storage room. More Nuka-Cola.
The outcasts have stolen a great deal of our uncatalogued.
You are easily amused, eh?
I'm beginning.
There's a Nuka-Cola in the fridge.
Then make do with what you have.
Barracks, B-ring. And indeed, that door goes to B-ring. So,
Forgive me for speaking out of
Welcome.
that's where we came in. So, down here, let's see, there's a toolbox and a teddy bear between us and the door to the lab. Let's check out the Great Hall now. There's Elder Lions. Here's another storage room. Let's check it out first. See if he has anything new to say.
Ah, it's good to see you again.
I'd like permission to trade.
This is not normally something that we do. Trade with outsiders has proven to be problematic in the past. However, considering the circumstances, so be it. I'll send word to Durga that you have full access to trade.
I have to go now.
Of course.
What's the situation?
Scribe Bowditch.
Oh, yes, hello, I've heard about you. We don't get many strangers here in the Citadel, especially those who walk about unescorted. I am Scribe Bowditch. If you require something, simply ask.
Tell me more about the outcasts.
It's a rather sad story, I'm afraid. Last year, some of our soldiers had grave disagreements with the decisions of Elder Lyons. Disagreements spiraled out of control, and there was a schism in the ranks. The loyal soldiers practically threw out the dissenters. Now they call themselves the Outcasts.
What sort of disagreements did they have?
Where Elder Lyons has fought to protect the people of the capital wasteland, the Outcasts demanded we move on and leave them to their fates. They insisted there was more important technology to be recovered in a scientific base in the ruins of Fort Independence to the west. As callous as their decision may be, it's more in line with our original mission. Elder Lyons is an inspiration to us, but to them, he's a traitor.
Who were the exiles?
The soldiers rallied behind Paladin Kasdan, who was one of Elder Lyons' original squad. They served together for over 20 years. Kasdan was well respected and every bit as loyal to the Brotherhood as Elder Lyons. He just disagreed with the interpretations of our oaths. But when disagreements turned into fistfights, he left with the Outcasts. We lost more allies that day than we ever have to any battle.
Sounds like it was quite a loss. Is there any way to reconcile them?
Lyons and Kasdan would have to agree to any sort of reconciliation, and that's pretty unlikely. They're both quite proud and stubborn. Me, I just wish there was a way we could all agree that at least we're still on the same side. There are bigger problems out there after all.
What are you doing about them?
As much as some of our soldiers would like to see them shot for deserting, there's not much we can do. We're too busy with the super mutants. Meanwhile, they're busy seeking out new technology and trying to get back in contact with the Brotherhood out west. So our paths rarely cross, but it's never pretty when they do. I just hope things cool down before it gets worse.
If so many people agreed with him, maybe he has a good point.
Well, that's the thing, really. Kasdan's technology-first sort of attitude is more traditional than the Brotherhood that always used to operate out west. But somewhere along the way, from there to here, Elder Lyons made sure we watched out for the people, not just the technology. To some of us, that was noble. I guess to Kasdan and his crew, it was just soft. I wish they could see some sort of middle ground.
And, well, good riddance to them. If you waver in your oaths, you get punished.
You sound like some of the hardliners. We all served together for years, but now some of the soldiers hate them as much as the super mutants.
Enough about the outcasts.
It is a rather discouraging subject, isn't it?
What do you scribes do?
Why, a great many things. There are 3 orders within the scribes, you see, each dedicated to a different field of study.
Could you name the orders?
Of course. There's the Order of the Sword, Order of the Shield, and Order of the Quill. The Order of the Sword develops and maintains the Brotherhood's weapons. The Order of the Shield does the same for our power armor and defenses. The Order of the Quill is responsible for recovering and preserving knowledge, ancient and otherwise.
Which order do you serve, Squire Bowditch?
I am Proctor of the Order of the Shield. I oversee the others in my order and make sure our defenses are up to snuff. Do you know how long it took to fortify these ruins? From the husk of the Pentagon, I carved a grand citadel. No easy task, my friend. But that was yesterday, when all we had to worry about was those damn super mutants. The Enclave, now, that's a different problem altogether.
That's all I needed.
Let me know if you need something else.
So any thoughts on the Enclave?
They're sporting some pretty impressive power armor, I'll give them that. The Advanced Mark II. But that's all right. With a few modifications, our own armor will more than handle anything they throw at it.
Care to share anything about the super mutants?
They're relentless, like nothing I've ever seen before. I honestly think they see our brothers in power armor as some kind of canned meal. Some of the pieces we've had brought back, men and women ripped in half, some pulled through their armor. Just horrible.
Could you repair my equipment?
I suppose that I can. The Brotherhood can make use of wasteland currency to trade.
19. No good. Could you tell me more about the Brotherhood of Steel? Or can you tell me more about the Brotherhood of Steel?
Oh, yes, I can. In fact, I suspect I could write several texts on the various details of the Brotherhood. But I suspect you're in a hurry, so what particulars would you like to know?
What are the central beliefs of the Brotherhood?
I'm afraid the answer to that is a lot more nuanced than others might suggest. Brotherhood members are sworn to acquire and protect technology of the past, but not everyone interprets these oaths in the same way. Elder Lyons sees these duties as part of a larger dedication to protect the innocent. Some, like the outcasts, disagree with these priorities.
What have been the highlights of your time with the Brotherhood?
I like to think that I've still got some big achievements left in me, although some of my joints seem to disagree these days. I'll tell you what the lowlights of my time have been, though. Every time I've been shot at. I'm a scribe, not a soldier.
What's the biggest challenge the Brotherhood has ever faced?
It seems like whichever challenge we're facing is always the biggest one. Survival at first, then expansion, and now cohesion. We've seen plenty of wasteland freaks or would-be dictators. They're not too bad. At least we've faced that sort of thing before. But more recent events, like the schism with the outcasts, those are the problems that worry me.
That's enough for now.
Okay. Anything else?
Have to go now.
Back to work.
Alright.
100%. They're getting reinforcements from somewhere, but we still haven't determined the location of their
Scribe Peabody.
The Elders sent word of your arrival. I am Scribe Peabody. Welcome, etc. Now, I'm really very busy. Is there something you needed?
I have some questions about the Brotherhood.
You want to talk to Scribe Jameson. She's the archivist, not me.
Can you tell me something about the scribes?
Indeed I can. Pay no heed to those headstrong knights with their pop guns and bravado. It is the scribes who make the Brotherhood what it truly is. The brawn is useless without the brain, Each order of scribes is dedicated to a unique field, all equally important, all more important than those dim-witted grunts.
And the orders are?
Order of the Sword, Order of the Shield, Order of the Quill, Weapons, Defenses, and Research, respectively.
Let me guess, you belong the Order of the...
Sword, of course. Weapons, my boy. You name it, I've helped someone kill it. I'm the proctor of the Order of the Sword, you see. Weapons research, development, and maintenance, all my responsibility.
That's all I needed.
Very well.
So, any thoughts on the Enclave?
So they have plasma weapons. Bah! It's strong technology, I'll give you that, but limited in modability. I've already started removing the compensators on our laser weapons to cut through the Black Devil power armor of theirs. We'll drop them like any other meat, don't you worry.
Care to share anything about the super mutants?
Foul, detestable beasts. They're like an infestation. We cut them down and they return again and again. Always so determined to kill or capture. But why?
Do you think you could repair my equipment?
Ha! With my eyes closed. And I will, too. But it will cost you, outsider.
19, he sucks, too. I have to go now.
Until next time.
Here's Star Paladin Cross. She's our first good karma follower. Not the best one in the game, but we'll chat with her. First, though, Scribe Jameson's report to Elder Lyons. From Scribe Elizabeth Jameson to Elder Lyons. Elder, I have read the recent reports on the number of paladins and knights that have not reported in when expected. I understand the chaotic nature of the situation in the field, but tradition demands that each brother who falls in battle have their death recorded in the scrolls. To not put forward our best effort to recover proof of who has fallen and who has lived is unthinkable. I understand that every brother is needed for the efforts here at the Citadel and in the city nearby. To that end, I intend to contract with outsiders in order to recover proof of which of our brethren have fallen to the enemy. I will ask that they recover dog tags from any fallen brother that they find. It is the least we can do without the resources for a full and honorable funeral for them. You needn't worry about providing rewards for these contractors. I will pay them from my personal funds. It is well worth it to me to be able to both keep the tradition and not stress the resources for your mission. Yours in steel, Scribe Elizabeth Jameson, Head Librarian, Order of the Quill, DC Bunker. Alright, let's talk to Star Paladin Cross.
Hail to you. By the traction of hospitality and on the word of Elder Lyons, I welcome you to the Citadel. I am Star Paladin Cross, Keeper of the Arm, and Seneschal to Elder Lyons. And I am honored to say I was acquainted with your father. Now what may I do to help you?
You knew my father?
I did, and you as well. Long ago, I helped guard the water purifier against the super mutant horde. When your father left, I escorted the two of you to Megaton. He was a noble man. I was saddened to hear of his passing. But from what I've heard, he died with honor. He died for you. I only pray that my own death has such meaning.
I loved him so much, I'll never forget him.
And so our deeds are carried on through our sons and our daughters. Continue to remember him fondly. Continue to tell his story. And continue to do his work. Through you, he shall carry on. But now I must ask you a difficult question, if I have your leave to do so.
Karma, by all means, ask.
I escorted your father across the wastes. It was the best I could contribute to his efforts to restore fresh water to the people. I would like the honor of escorting you in your journey to complete his work.
What about the Enclave?
As a Star Paladin, I answer only to Elder Lyons. He has given me leave to pursue the restoration of Project Purity, as I see fit. By aiding you in your travels, I shall fulfill that mission as best I am capable.
I would be honored, Star Paladin Cross, or perhaps later.
Certainly. I shall remain here. Should you change your mind, simply return to me. I shall come with you for the asking.
I have to go now.
Stay strong, my friend.
Like I said, I don't enjoy using followers, mostly because they really fuck up my sneaking. So, anything in there? No. No.
Finding your way
Paladin
about?
Vargas.
What aid can I offer you, outsider? Of course.
I think we bumped into him earlier, part of Lion's Pride. There's Knight Artemis. Let's check this other little storage room. And then we'll check the other side of that table there in the Great Hall. Oh, come on now. Yeah. Sugar bombs. Nothing, 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 nothing. In here we got sugar bombs. And in the fridge, more sugar bombs. Alright. Now let's talk to everyone here. Knight Captain Gallows, Knight Captain Dusk, Paladin Kodiak, Paladin Glade.
Glad to see you and that egghead Lee made it here in one piece. I heard what happened to that purifier. Hell of a thing.
So, any thoughts on the Enclave?
Man, I don't know. Fighting uglies is one thing, but we've never gone up against anyone that well trained or organized. Even their tech is better. Don't get me wrong, the pride's in it to win it. And I'll go down shooting if I have to. I just hope I don't have to.
Care to share anything about the super mutants?
Man, nothing dies like an ugly. I once saw Colvin snipe the leg off one at 200 yards. Thing pirouetted like a figure skater.
What can you tell me about the Lion's Pride?
You, my friend, are talking about the most elite fighting force ever assembled within the Brotherhood of Steel. Each of us was handpicked by Sentinel Lyons herself. You can't even realize what an honor that is. Sarah defines combat excellence.
So what's your job in the Lion's Pride?
Me? Heavy weapons, miniguns, missile launchers. If it's bigger than a human and goes boom, I'm all over it.
I have to go now.
Back to it.
Now talk to Knight Captain Gallows.
Yes?
You don't say much, do you? Or say nothing. Continue to say nothing. Continue to say nothing.
I'm glad that we understand one another. So what's the latest? What?
So, any thoughts on the Enclave?
They're men. They're born, they live, they die. End of story.
Care to share anything about the super mutants?
Shoot them, they die. Stab them, they die. Strangle them, they die.
What can you tell me about the Lion's Pride?
Sarah appreciates my methods. I fill a role no one else can.
So what's your specialty in the Lion's Pride?
Spec ops. Let's leave it at that.
I have to go now.
Stay safe, stranger.
Now talk to Glade again.
What can I do for you, kid?
What's the story with Gallows?
Oh man, there's something wrong with that boy. Ain't nobody around here that even knows his real name. We got a betting pool in the Pride. Whole pot goes to the first person who can find out his real name.
I want to talk about Gallows.
You figure out his name yet? Yeah, I thought not.
Now we can pass a speech check.
Speak.
So what's your real name?
What's the pool up to now, anyway? Nice try, though.
Come on, it'll really throw those guys for a loop if you tell me. It's a hard speech check, though, so...
Yeah, never mind.
Let me save before I try for it again.
And so we part.
There we go.
Speak. Haven't we been through this already?
Oh no. Well, it doesn't matter much. The pool is 1,000 caps.
Hail to you, stranger. I am Knight Captain Dusk, in service of Steel. If you require anything, simply ask.
So what's your story?
My story? I blow the head off anything more than 200 meters downrange. I'm the best shot in the Brotherhood of Steel, bar none. Not even Colvin can match my kill count. That's my story.
That's impressive. Competition must be stiff around here.
Damn right it is. Last time I checked, it wasn't called the Sisterhood of Steel. Hell, even Sarah has to prove herself to the knuckle-draggers. Every once in a while, we have to show 'em what's what.
What do you think about Gallows?
I don't trust him. I know. I should take faith in my brother. But he disappears for days out into the wastes. He comes back without a word. He only reports to Sentinel Lions, and he doesn't tell the rest of us what he's up to. I can't trust a soldier like that. The other guys, they think it's a joke. Glade's even got a betting pool going to find out Gallows' real name. A betting pool, honestly.
So, any thoughts on the Enclave?
Honestly, I can't wait to see if one of those helmets can stop a hollow point round at 100 yards. I'm thinking, not.
Care to share anything about the super mutants?
I can tell you that those heavily armored ones, the Masters, they favor heavy weapons. Miniguns and missile launchers. My recommendation? Headshot from a distance. Avoid the meat grinder.
What can you tell me about the Lion's Pride?
We're the most elite tactical unit ever assembled in the Brotherhood of Steel. Here or anywhere else. Hell, ain't nothing Sarah's Cubs can't handle.
What do you do here?
I'm a sniper with the Pride. Put any muty bastard within 1 mile of me and my rifle, and, well, pack it up, troops. Fight's over. Colvin thinks he's a better shot. Man's delusional.
I have to go now.
Remember, 1 shot, 1 kill.
Can we do this yet? Nope. Looks like I accidentally locked myself out. Paladin Kodiak.
Hail. Name's Greg. Greg Bear. Most of the guys just call me Kodiak. Heard about that mess over at the Purifier. Don't you worry. You're safe here.
What's with that Gallows guy?
Gallows? He's not a bad guy, truth be told. He just doesn't talk much. And if it ain't soldiering, that boy has no time for it. Tell you what, though. He's the meanest son of a bitch around here. All business. The rest of us, we get our R&R in. Not Gallows. There's even a betting pool on who can find out his real name. Talk to Glade about it. He'll tell you.
How did you end up in the Brotherhood?
Now that's a story. The only reason I'm here is because of Elder Lyons. You see, I grew up in the pit. Don't suppose you ever been there, huh? It's about 500 clicks to the northwest. Place is a nightmare. 3 irradiated rivers coming together. People there were not well. But the Brotherhood of Steel came down on the place with a righteous hammer. They called it the Scourge.
What was the Scourge?
It was a Brotherhood operation. They marched in and swept the place clean. Most of the people there were half-mutated, cancerous, vile things. And these people, rape gangs, torture squads. It was pure chaos there. The Scourge is the best thing that could have happened to it. This was way back, before the Citadel was fortified. Part of the early recon after the Brotherhood first arrived in this area. One night, a squad of brothers led by Paladin Lions swept into the city from over Mount Wash, tearing apart anyone who stood against them. They were completely outnumbered, and still they razed that place to the ground.
How did you escape?
As they swept through, the Brotherhood policed up every non-mutie child they could find. Turns out there weren't that many. Me and maybe 20 others. The younger we were, the less of a chance that we were mutated. It was ugly work, no doubt, but it had to be done. I'll never forget the sight of the Brotherhood of Steel breaching the breast of the mountain at dawn.
How did you end up back here?
Elder Lyons brought us all back to the Citadel. He said it was the safest place he knew of. This place was still being converted. He put us in as initiates and kept a watchful eye over us. He was tough, but he taught us to stay alive. The man's like a father to me.
It's pretty amazing, Kodiak.
Nah. The amazing thing is Elder Lyons. He risked everything. Went in outmanned and outgunned. I'll never be able to thank him enough. So I do my best to serve the Brotherhood. I know that's what he really wants. In time, I'm sure you'll understand.
Sounds like a nice place. You should go back.
Now see, that was just rude. Fine. No story for you. I bend my knee to the Oh, now you want story time? Sorry, I'm not having it.
So, any thoughts on the Enclave?
There's meat under that armor, and meat can be ground.
Care to share anything about the super mutants?
Hell, I've killed more of those yellow Frankensteins than any other member of the Pride. Except maybe Gallows, those crazy solo night ops of his.
What can you tell me about the Lion's Pride?
See, the Brotherhood's one thing, but the Pride, best of the best. Every damn one of us. Handpicked by Sentinel Lyons herself.
What's your combat specialization in Lion's Pride?
Hell, I do it all. Recon, demolition, tactical assault. Guess you could say I'm the Pride's jack of all trades.
Have to go now.
Never back down.
What can I do for you, kid?
What?
Alright. That's it.
It appears the Enclave troops have moved beyond the...
Scribe Rothschild.
Yes? Is there something I can help you with?
Vault 87 has a GEC, but I don't know where it is.
Ah, well, that much I believe I can help with. Step over here for a moment. I'll show you where it is.
Welcome.
Where's he going? Worry about that later. Another exit back to the courtyard. Let's finish checking out A-Ring. New settlements always take forever because there are so many people to talk to. The Den. This is where Lion's Pride hangs out when they're not in the Great Hall. Not too much in here, just some cans really. There's a holotag. Network connection not found. Dummy terminal inactive. Alright, whatever. Somewhere in here. There's a copy of Guns and Bullets. There it is. At the foot of that far bed. Superfluous, but a good thing to find. Now let's go find Jameson again, since we were able to nab another holo tag.
Some serious firepower they're packing.
Knowledge is the beginning of wisdom, not the end of it. One of my favorite quotes. Its author has been lost to us. How can I help you, outsider? They're as...
I think at this point, though, we've spoken to almost everyone, so things should speed up. 3 Nuka-Colas. Now we just need to explore B-Ring and the lab. Hospital. Barracks. Let's do the barracks first. Citadel Information Terminal. Enclave Tactical Assessment. Weapons. Plasma-based, capable of molecular destabilization. Armor. Advanced Power Armor Mark II. Transportation. Vertibirds. Tactical Assessment. The Enclave forces that have occupied Project Purity are nearly identical to those encountered on the West Coast in the year 2241. Threat potential severe. GNR Battle After Action Report. It is the opinion of Sentinel Lions that the recent super-mutant attack on GNR was not indicative of a larger assault as was originally thought. Instead, the forces that attacked the radio station were probably en route to the mall to reinforce their own kind in a prolonged battle against the mercenaries of Talon Company. General Robot Diagnostics updated. Scribe Rothschild has completed a new full diagnostic of the robot. Here are those results. Mobility, 0%. Navigation translation, 0%. Internal processors, 87%. Weapons systems, 60%. Power management, 3%. Voice module, 100%. It is the assessment of Scribe Rothschild that once the power management issues are solved, mobility and navigation translation will jump to at least 50%, well within acceptable operating capacity. GNR soldier rotation. Due to the increased supermutant activity in the vicinity of GNR and the importance of that outpost, all knights and paladins can expect to be added to the patrol rotation in that area. See your squad leaders for more information. Notice, Redden Funeral cancelled. Due to certain unexpected tactical developments, funeral services for Initiate Redden have been cancelled. A memorial service will be scheduled sometime in the future. Date TBD. Some ammo in that locker. Citadel Personnel Terminal. GNR soldier rotation is the same. Important! Squire Maxon Bailey access. By order of Elder Lyons, Squire Maxon is not to be given unsupervised access to the Bailey while live fire practice is in effect. Lions Pride recruiting. Due to the tragic death of Initiate Redden, Lions Pride now has one opening, effective immediately. If you can't shoot an ugly from 150 yards blindfolded, don't waste my time. Sentinel Lions. Just gotta make sure none of these terminals are any different. That goes back to the ring. Let's head into the hospital.
Another glorious day in this man's army.
Very hard locked medical storage, very hard locked medical terminal, and here is Sawbones.
Please state the nature of the medical emergency.
Initiate triage protocol.
Medical procedures initiated. Administering Error!
Sawbones has damaged you. Ouch, that hurt. What the hell?
There has been an error in the medical subsystem. Please run a level 2 diagnostic.
Science, run a level 2 diagnostic on the medical subsystems.
Command accepted. Beginning level 2 systems diagnostic. Please stand by. Diagnostic complete. Results indicate a level 7 degradation in neural pathway 0x63A82. No further information available.
Close neural pathway 0x6382 and reroute remaining functions.
Neural pathway 0x63A82 rerouted through neural pathway 0x374E82. Stand by. Full motor functions restored. Diagnostic reveals no critical failures. Asshole.
Initiate triage protocol.
Medical procedures initiated. Administering treatment. Please stand still. Medical procedure complete. Further instructions?
No, I'm done with you.
Acknowledged. Hitting the rack.
Alright. Let's take the Med-X. Let's activate the Citadel medical terminal. Recuperating. It's not ating. Interesting. Recuperating. Nope. Isn't an ing. Rec. Air. 18. No. Nope. Rec. No. No. Visit. Hey Sawbones, you dumb son of a bitch. This is Glade. I hacked your terminal again. Now change your password before I delete all your stupid robot poetry. Casualty report. Paladin Blanchett, honorable death in combat. Paladin Jennings, honorable death in combat. Paladin Stein, MIA, presumed dead / honorable death in combat. Paladin Sawagachi, honorable death in combat. Knight Casserly, honorable death in combat. Knight Arturo, suicide. Knight Ianelli, honorable death in combat. Knight Conard, honorable death in combat. Knight Patriarchus, MIA, presumed dead / honorable death in combat. Initiate Verona, MIA, presumed dead / honorable death in combat. Initiate Ruo, honorable death in combat. Initiate Quintana, MIA, presumed dead / honorable death in combat. Initiate Porter, honorable death in combat. Initiate Loring, training accident, investigation pending. Initiate Redden, honorable death in combat. Notes on Pendleton appendectomy. Rotary saw was ineffective, but suturing of incision proved ineffective. Rotary saw was effective, but suturing of incision proved ineffective. High-intensity heat cauterization proved successful. Operation outcome, success. Patient pain discomfort level, irrelevant. Probability of future procedure, 100%. Hovering contemplatively, a poem. Brotherhood of Steel, blood is red, ionic medical pulse beams are blue, steel is better than flesh, and artificial intelligence subprocessors are too. Medical storage lock override. I'd rather pick the lock. Duh. We're trying to get level 30 here. Med-X, Rad-X, Radaway, and Stimpaks. Awesome. Alrighty. Alright, let's see what's through here. Some foot lockers. That one has ammo, that one has ammo, that one is empty. Onward. Squire Maxon's terminal. Locked very easy. Well, let's hack it by all means. Hi, Squire Maxon. How's the best kid in the Citadel doing today? Diary entry 1. Stupid scribe Rothschild and his stupid lab. All I wanted to do was talk to the robot and see if he'd be my friend, so what if he can't walk? Diary entry 2. Yesterday, Sarah taught me how to kill a man by stabbing him in the kidneys. I think I'm in love. Story, The Guardians of Gillifrond. Whatever shall we do, Mr. Wallingsworth? Molly asked. Mother will be home shortly, and I've yet to clean my room. Heavens my, heavens me, don't fret, Molly Golly, we'll enlist a little help, that's all. Mr. Wallingsworth then waddled his little teddy bear body into the center of the room and called out in a voice both sweet and strong to those lying dormant on shelves in the toy box under the bed. Come now, you lot, Molly Golly needs our help, and as we're her guardians, that means we all get cracking. Come on now, shake off those dust bunnies and hop to. There then rose a rustle and rumble from all corners of the room as rocking horse and railway car, bookend and baby doll, toy and game alike all blossomed into impossible life. Mr. Wallingsworth, but I never knew. I thought it was just you. Oh, this is just wonderful, Molly exclaimed. Wonderful? Bah! I was having a nice nap and a nice dream, and now you've gone and woken me up. And for what? Manual labor. That wasn't in the job description, Wallingsworth. This small, squeaky voice of dissent belonged to one Mousie Maguire, Molly's favorite stuffed animal, and one of the few companions granted the right to sleep on her bed. "Oh, Mousie, you're alive!" Molly ran to her bed and embraced the nonplussed plushie, squishing his body in a nearly stuffing-bursting bear hug. "Ah! Oh, all right, enough! You're crushing me!" Molly released her hold and dropped Mousie back on the bed, feeling at once excited and immensely disappointed that her favorite stuffed toy had just come to life and seemed to be a complete cretin. "Now you listen here, Maguire," Wallingsworth said. "Being guardians of dear Miss Molly Golly means we protect her in any way we can, even if that means unclogging the potty or taking out the trash or, yes, tidying up her room. And when the crawly creeps come, oh, and they will come, you'll get to do what was in your job description, you mark my words." Poem, Song of the Light Man. Tweedle-dumpling, Tweedle-dare, curse the younglings if you care, for theirs is youth and joy and power, 5 made one in the Lightman's tower. And when they come, these 5 of sun, the Lightman's progeny have won, so sound the trumpets clear and loud, and think beyond the eastern shroud. Guns and Bullets. Vargas doesn't know I've been reading his copy of Guns and Bullets, and I should probably keep it that way. I mean, it's right there under his bunk in the den. What did he expect? Alrighty. Onward.
So what's the latest report?
Knight Captain Colvin.
What aid can I offer you, outsider?
Alright. Nothing really.
Of course. Hail.
The Solar is actually Elder Lion's living quarters, but...
Yes?
Anything else to say, dude? No. Good.
Hail.
Boy. Elder Lion's terminal has a very hard lock on it, as does his wall safe. Here's his personal log, Elder Owen Lyon's personal log 1.
According to our latest reconnaissance report, Enclave soldiers have taken complete control of the Project Purity facility. They brutally murdered innocent scientists, including James. He went there to revive the project and died for his efforts. They will answer for their crimes. I haven't worked so hard just to sit idly by and watch the Enclave undo what little we've accomplished here.
Alright, let's do the terminal. Purification. 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 That's not it. Purification. No. Purification. No. It might be it, actually. It is. Perfect. Greetings, Elder Lions. Squire Maxon progress report. Squire Maxon's training is proceeding well, and the boy certainly has an aptitude for small arms, but I often worry about his emotional state. He is a child surrounded by killers being groomed to become a killer himself. Maybe I've become too cynical, too soft in my old age, but I wish I could give the boy a more normal childhood. Ironic, considering his upbringing is so much like my own. Maybe that's what scares me. Sarah's birthday. I mustn't forget Sarah's birthday this year. Perhaps I'll send Cross to Rivet City to peruse the shops and pick something up, something pretty. Sarah may have forgotten she's a woman, but I haven't, and neither have the rest of the brothers, judging by the looks they give her. Safe lock override. I'd rather pick it. $300 bottle caps, 50 energy cells, Elder Owen Lyon's personal log 2, and Smuggler's End, which is a unique laser pistol. Note added, Elder Owen Lyon's personal log 2.
Here I sit in the safety of the Citadel, while the people of the wasteland thirst and suffer and die. Here I sit a failed, feeble old man. What have I really accomplished? How many have I truly helped? The super mutants still roam rampant. The people still die of thirst and radiation. The Western elders cease to acknowledge my existence. Some of my own people have even gone outcast. And now the Enclave, technologically superior, infinitely resourceful. The time has come to pass the mantle to more able hands. But is she ready?
Alright. Keep checking B ring.
So, what's the latest report?
It appears the Enclave troops have moved beyond the Purifier into the surrounding.
You can all hear them talk about Enclave troops moving beyond the Purifier into the surrounding areas, and that's true. They have now established camps all over the wasteland, and we can fight them regularly. Let's talk to Squire Maxon.
Hail to you, stranger. I am Squire Maxon, loyal servant of steel. It is an honor to make your acquaintance.
Relax, Squire, I don't bite.
I plead for your pardon if my behavior offends you, sir. We don't get many visitors in the Citadel. The brothers and Elder Lions are excellent teachers, but I get nervous about the protocols. The Codex says that outsiders are not to be trusted. Shield yourself from those not bound to you by steel, for they are the blind. Aid them when you can, but lose not sight of yourself, it says.
Understandable. I've met a lot of dangerous people myself.
It's not simply the outsiders that we are wary of. Anybody who has not taken the oath of fraternity is suspicious to us. The Codex says, fear those who do not pledge to the Brotherhood, for though their eyes may be open through service, they are now blind. But it also tells us, give way your suspicions to the wisdom of thine elder. Where he shows trust, so shall you. Elder Lions trust you, so you are free to stay here.
Aren't you a little young for all this?
Oh, well, you see, I am descended from the great Roger Maxon, founder of our order. I am the last of his line. They say my soul was forged from eternal steel, but I don't believe that. I'm really just a normal boy. I was sent to the Citadel many years ago to be fostered by Elder Lions, but that was before the Western Elders lost faith in the Elder. I really don't know if I'll ever get home, but, well, I kind of like it here. Sentinel Lyons has been very kind to me. She's taught me so much.
What do you make of the Enclave, Squire?
You're asking me what I think about the Enclave? Well, the Brotherhood of Steel has actually faced the Enclave before. Back west. More than 30 years ago, according to our chronicles. Judging from those records, I'd say their soldiers are outfitted in advanced power armor Mark II. It's pretty strong. Better than our power armor. And some of their technology is amazing. Vertibirds, plasma weapons that can turn a man to goo. Does that help?
I don't suppose you know anything about the super mutants.
Oh yes! I've studied them quite a bit since I've been here. They're not all the same, you know, besides the regular ones. There are also brutes, and after them, the masters. They're really tough. But the worst of all? The behemoth! He's a giant! I saw one once, outside the Citadel walls. So scary. The super mutants are all over the city ruins. But Elder Lyons doesn't actually think they're from there, or we would have found their home by now. It kind of seems like they're looking for something, but we're not really sure what that is.
They don't actually make you fight, do they?
No. But I could. I know I'm ready. I mean, it would be scary, but it's not fair that I have to sit inside while the knights go on patrol. I did go out one time, you know. Sarah, Sentinel Lyons took me out, just to show me. I killed a super mutant too, I swear. I also sort of shot Sarah, but just a little. It was just a flesh wound.
I have to go now.
May we speak again soon.
Alrighty. There's the other side of the barracks. There's some scrap metal. Toolbox. Vending machine. Knight Captain Colvin we've already attempted to speak to, so... let's just check this last little bedroom, and then we'll make our way to the laboratory, which is where I think Scribe Rothschild is hanging out as well.
You honor us with your presence here.
Some good ammo to be found in these filing cabinets, at least. There's the direct exit back to the courtyard. Now, have a look at this thing in the middle. This is where Garza and Dr. Lee end up. Smitty is through here.
Need something?
There's Scribe Bowditch.
Hail.
There's Star Paladin Cross. Citadel Lab Terminal. This one is different. AVF problem. Recent experiments with accelerated vector fusion, AVF, have not gone according to plan. All scribes assigned to the lab should check with Scribe Rothschild on a daily basis and obtain any modified technical parameters as needed. Warning, leaky hydraulics. It has come to our attention that several scribes have slipped on hydraulic fluid near the eastern end of the robot lift. Until the offending pipes can be mended completely, please use caution in that area. Those are all things we've seen before.
I need to collect my weights.
Hey there.
Alright, they still have nothing to say.
Excuse me. There's been another behemoth sighted in the wasteland.
Nothing to do except head down.
Hail.
I'm a big fan of the robot. Liberty Prime Operations. We'll check that out in a few moments. Here's the bathroom. Some pre-war money. And a superfluous copy of Duck and Cover, which I will nonetheless grab. Can, sugar bombs. Good times.
Need something, friend?
Welcome.
These are all just generics.
Hail.
Means I don't know. Oh, there's Scribe Rothschild. We'll speak to him later. Here's the mess hall. And more searchables.
Welcome.
Alrighty. That's it for here. There's the armory. Should have a look in there. Plasma rifle just sitting there for the taking. Weapon Information Research Database. Choose weapon. N99 10mm pistol. The 10mm N99 sidearm was standard issue military gear following the phase out of the N80 in 2051. The N99 was known for its ability to survive in the harshest of conditions, and in many tests, the weapon was able to reliably be restored to working condition after an extended period of time exposed to hard elements and without maintenance. The N99 proved to stand up to its claims, and as a result is one of the most common weapons found in use in the wasteland. While many civilian weapons were ruined beyond use in the exterior conditions following the war, the N99 is commonly able to be easily restored to working order by anyone with the most basic knowledge of firearm mechanics. However, an N99 in poor condition can often deliver low target and armor penetration, frequent jamming, and greatly reduced accuracy. Fortunately, the weapon was produced in great numbers, and units are available for replacement parts. R91 556mm Assault Rifle. The R series of combat assault rifles was used reliably following the discontinuation of the M series in the early 21st century. The R series, produced by civilian manufacturer Stent Security Solutions, was made in many models and variations. The variation most common to the DC wasteland is the R91 full-auto urban assault rifle. This rifle was standard issue for the National Guard during urban pacification operations. Fortunately for our purposes, the Nation Guard had been fully deployed around the DC area during the time of the war. As a result, the R91 is readily available for those willing to search. Although nearly 2 centuries of scavenging has reduced the numbers of working units, the R91 remains a favorite of slavers and raiders. This rifle can also often be obtained from legitimate traders and arms dealers. Like any firearm, the R91's effectiveness and accuracy can suffer without regular maintenance. AEP-7 Laser Pistol. The AEP-7 laser pistol was put into service to replace the AEP-5, a model which was notorious for its problems with overheating. The AEP-7 features a new design in the photonic focusing chamber as well as an entirely redesigned focusing crystal pattern. The bulk and weight have both been reduced over previous models, and it was likely that within the new few development cycles, the successor to the AEP-7 would replace the N99 10mm as the standard issue sidearm for all forces. The AEP-7 took advantage of new manufacturing techniques developed shortly before the Great War. Although many were produced, most did not make it into field service because of logistics problems concerning their deployment during active wartime. The AEP-7 can be a rare find in the capital wasteland, and any models that are produced should be returned to the Citadel for repair and recalibrating before field deployment. AER-9 laser rifle. Unlike many of the weapons in use today, the AER-9 is actually not the top laser rifle that was in service at the time of the Great War. The model line went up to the state-of-the-art AER-12, which saw service in a handful of specialty units. The reason that the AER-9 is much more commonly found is that it was much sturdier and more reliable than the models that followed. The AER-9 features a titanium-housed crystal array which proved to withstand long years of exposure to the elements much better than the gold alloy housing of the later models. As a result, the crystal arrays stayed focused within operating parameters rather than falling completely out of focus like the newer models. As with all energy weapons, the AER-9 can suffer from poor performance if not properly maintained. The crystal arrays and non-mechanical components are delicate, and if not properly serviced, can lead to a loss of beam intensity, overheating, and energy regulation failure. There we go. Now let's head back here. That's just another lab terminal. Here's a very hard locked cell door. Pop it open right quick. And let's talk to Knight Captain Durga.
I received word from Elder Lyons. He says that you have permission to trade with us. Good for you. Of course.
Now if we head back here, surprisingly, we can take some stuff. Here's an average locked safe. Let's pop it open too. Interesting. I didn't think we'd be able to take this stuff. Not that I care for most of it, but...
Cut it out!
Alright. Now, let's look at the Liberty Prime Operations Terminal. Citadel System Link 39L. Welcome, Scribe Rothschild. Historical Records. Project Summary. Classified eyes only. Military Contract 38917, codename Liberty Prime. Project goal: no less than the creation of the most powerful combat robot the battlefield has ever seen, with the express goal of liberating occupied Anchorage, Alaska from its Chinese aggressors. Summary: the United States Army has succeeded in contracting both Robco and General Atomics International to work on their first joint project. The robot they create, Liberty Prime, will be the very embodiment of American military might, a walking, talking, nuke-tossing hero who will remind the world what it means to be a superpower. I am fully confident that the presence of Liberty Prime at the Anchorage front line will be to the Chinese what the Hiroshima bomb was to the Japanese in 1945. General Constantine Chase. Capital Post article, June 3rd, 2072. By Walter Street Beat Monroe, Capital Post staff writer. In a startling turnaround from their previous policy of complete covert development, the United States Army has confirmed that they are indeed working on a new superweapon, one designed specifically to crush the Red Chinese invasion force and liberate occupied Anchorage, Alaska once and for all. Speaking at an Army press conference at the Pentagon, General Constantine Chase stated, "No more secrets. The time has come to lay all our cards on the table so the Chinese can see with their own eyes that we've got the winning hand. The United States Army is proud to announce that for the first time in history, General Atomics International and Robco have joined forces to create for this great country a superweapon that will leave every single yellow-bellied Red shaking in their commie booties." Unfortunately for our readers, that's as specific as Chase is willing to get. While he and the Army are ready for China to know the U.S. is developing a new weapon, they're not quite ready to divulge just what it is or when it will be ready for deployment. All in due time, all in due time. Rest assured, when this weapon is complete, liberty will come to Anchorage and hell will follow. Letter, Dr. Bloomfeld to General Chase. General Chase, I'm sorry, but you're being completely unrealistic. There is simply no way the robot will be combat ready in 3 months. The chassis is complete, all weapons systems are online, and the voice module has been programmed as requested, but power consumption is still our primary concern, and neither Drs. Honeywell nor Park have yet found an acceptable solution. We had hoped to subcontract Vault Tech and utilize the talents of Dr. Braun, but apparently he's gone into seclusion working on one of their own projects, and they couldn't reach him at this point if they wanted to, so that's out. I'll give it to you straight, General. This is the biggest robot the world has ever seen, and we just haven't been able to find a power source small enough and powerful enough to get the damn thing running with all its systems online. In 3 months, we might be able to guarantee the robot can walk into downtown Anchorage, but all of his weapons systems will be offline. Maybe he can just step on the red Chinese? Dr. Stanley Bloomfeld, project lead. Back. Diagnostic reports. May 8th, 2277. Here are the results of the latest robot diagnostic. Mobility, 0%. Navigation translation, 0%. Internal processors, 46%. Weapons systems, 45%. Power management, 37%. Voice module, 100%. Scribe Rothschild is confident that by redistributing power from the weapons and mobility subsystems, we'll be able to bring power management up to at least 67%, enough to successfully carry out a full activation sequence. July 13th, 2277. Scribe Rothschild has completed a new full diagnostic of the robot. Here are those results. Mobility 0%, navigation translation 0%, internal processors 12%, weapons systems 13%, power management 1%, voice module 100%. It has been determined that the recent feedback spike, which resulted in overall system degradation, was in fact caused by the installation of the new power capacitor, as Scribe Rothschild suspected. Until further notice, scribes are ordered to cease any and all experiments that involve the rerouting of power from any of the robot's subsystems. Current. We've seen this one before. Lead Scribe's Journal, May 9th, 2277. Another day, another setback. We had tried, of course, rerouting power from weapons to the robot's other subsystems several times. Each attempt ended in failure, thanks to the robot's overly aggressive combat subroutines. It's almost as if there's some hidden pocket of AI that keeps pushing against us, refusing to let anyone drain power from the weapons systems. I guess that shouldn't surprise me, considering why he was constructed in the first place. That's why I began work on the neural dampener in the first place. I was convinced I could trick the robot into thinking I had actually redistributed the power from some other subsystem. But the damned thing proved smarter than that, certainly smarter than me. All I managed to do was fry some of his circuitry again and set us back another 3 months. July 14th, 2277. I'm tired of trying to reroute power like some kind of snot-nosed initiate. I don't care what kind of drain it puts on the scribe's ability to research and maintain the weapons and armor. I'm proceeding with the AVF experiments. If I can successfully create an accelerated vector fusion module similar to the technology I saw Dr. Lee working with all those years ago, we'll have our first real chance of getting the robot fully operational. Maybe then the Western Elders will realize our worth. August 1st, 2277. Unfortunately, the accelerated vector fusion AVF experiments haven't gone as planned. Bowditch suffered second-degree burns, and at one point we accidentally channeled so much power to the robot's head laser, it discharged and nearly killed Elder Lyons. He was not pleased. Back. Voice emitter test. Voice emitter test initialized.
Voice module online. Audio functionality test initialized. Designation, Liberty Prime. Mission, the liberation of Anchorage, Alaska. Primary targets, any and all red Chinese invaders. Emergency communist acquisition directive. Immediate self-destruct. Better dead than red.
And finally, initiate activation sequence. Failure, insufficient power. There we go. Alright, that's everything in here. Let's finally go talk to Rothschild.
This map shows the locations of all known vaults in the local area. Vault 87 has been highlighted for you. There. entrance to Vault 87 will be particularly difficult for you, I'm afraid.
Why? What's difficult about it?
The area is highly irradiated. Lethal levels are all around the entrance. Gaining direct access will be quite impossible.
How do I get through the radiation?
Quite simply, you don't. To attempt such a thing would be certain death for you.
There's got to be another way.
You share your father's determination, it seems. And in this case, you are correct. There may well be another way. Vault 87 is located very close to the site of Lamplight Caverns. It is entirely probable that the vault may be entered from within the caves.
Well, I guess it's time to find out. I'll go there myself.
The Brotherhood simply cannot spare the resources necessary to investigate the area. Perhaps you may be more successful. If you do find anything, please return here so that we may decide how best to proceed.
Thanks for your help.
I wish we could do more, but the Brotherhood potentially faces a very pressing, very real threat in the Enclave. All of my efforts must now be devoted to assessing the threat they may pose to us. I'm sure you understand. Yes? What is it?
Completed, ask Scribe Rothschild for information about Vault 87. Search Lamplight Caverns for a way into Vault 87. Where was Vault 87 again?
Check the map in the lab for reference if you like. The vault is to the west of the city, far out in the capital wasteland. Remember that you won't be able to just walk in due to the radiation. You'll have to try and find another way to access the vault. I expect that Lamplight Caverns is your best chance for success.
I'd like to know more about the Brotherhood of Steel.
I'm afraid you're asking the wrong person.
Why are you the wrong person to ask?
Predominantly because the Elder won't like some of what I have to say. But fine, I'll discuss it. What do you want to know?
Why are you here in the capital wasteland?
Well, that depends on who you ask. Lions will tell you it's because we're protecting the poor, innocent people of the capital wasteland. Most others here will tell you the same thing. They'll do anything for that man.
Well, I'm asking you. Why are you here?
I'm here for two reasons. One, Lyons needs me. He always has, just as much as I need him. We've been through a lot together, he and I. Two, take a look around you. Access to this kind of technology and the benefits it could provide to the Brotherhood is immeasurable.
I'd like to know more about the Brotherhood of Steel.
What do you want to know? Well...
But not everyone agrees.
No, not everyone. But for a variety of reasons, those who disagree are no longer with us.
How long have you been here?
We arrived here in 55, established ourselves in the Citadel within the first few months. The Elder has kept us busy since then.
You seem to have a pretty small organization.
The Brotherhood of Steel is bigger than what you see here. We're only a small division, you could say. But that's a bit of a sore subject around here.
Then where's the rest of the Brotherhood?
The West Coast, unless something has changed. There's been no contact with them for the last several years. There's also a small detachment in Chicago, but they're off the radar. Gone rogue. Long story.
It must be difficult to communicate with the West Coast.
Indeed it is, especially when they refuse any attempts at communication.
Why? What happened?
Lines of communication were severed years ago. The Western Elders have washed their hands of us.
Why is that a sore subject?
Much has happened in the 23 years since we left the West Coast. Our mission has changed in that time. The changes have not all been pleasant, and have had significant repercussions.
What kind of changes?
We were dispatched with a specific mission. We were sent to locate and secure any technology remaining from before the war. Like our robotic monstrosity, that was our greatest find. Damn thing still doesn't work, but at least it's ours. But those damn super mutants, they changed things. Lions changed. He decided they were a threat, not just to us, but to everyone. And so he altered the mission. Finding the source of the mutants and putting a stop to them was his goal. Our original mission became an afterthought. We've failed both.
Those sound like pretty good changes to me.
You're an outsider. I don't expect you to understand. We live and die by our dedication to the Brotherhood. To go against orders, it's not something that's done. I appreciate that Lyons believes he is doing what is right, but he should never have disobeyed orders. And now look where it's gotten us. Forces dwindled, super mutants on one side, Enclave on the other. We can barely take care of ourselves. But
You make saving people sound like a bad thing.
it wasn't why we were sent here. Good or bad has nothing to do with it. Lyons knew that, but ignored it. He decided it was more important to save the people here than to obey orders from his superiors. For years he'd try and persuade them to send reinforcements and supplies, all the while stringing them along, saying he was sticking to the mission. Finally, things came to a head. Lyons directly refused orders, and so the West Coast cut us off. No communications, no reinforcements.
He's in charge, so it's his decision, right?
He's in charge of this detachment, yes. He's not in charge of the Brotherhood. As loyal as I am to the man, I can't overlook the fact that he disobeyed orders, and it cost us. The West Coast cut us off completely once they saw what was going on. So now we're on our own. No communications, no reinforcements. We can't even beat the super mutants, and now we're expected to defend against the Enclave alone? The situation is less than ideal.
Oop. Okay.
You're an outsider. You had no way of knowing.
Oh, I accidentally hit sorry to have brought it up.
What?
What do you mean by repercussions?
Some did not approve of the Elders' decisions. Initially they followed because we are all taught to follow the Elders.
Alright. That's all I wanted to know.
Was there something else then?
Care to share anything about the super mutants?
Not really. No.
Are you in charge of the robot?
I am, and have been since we first found him, well over 20 years ago. Liberty Prime is the designation we found on file for him. Magnificent, don't you think? At least he will be once all systems are operational. It's the energy consumption. Something that big with such advanced weapon systems. We just don't have the means to power him. Not yet.
Do you think you could repair my equipment?
Could I? Yes. Will I? No. Go see Peabody or Bowditch.
Who built Liberty Prime? Or better yet, why?
He was developed as a super weapon back in the days before the war. The first joint operation between Robco and General Atomics International. Apparently, he was meant to help liberate Alaska from the Chinese, but was never completed. They were forced to go in without him. They won, but suffered heavy losses. If we can get him up and running, well, I think you get the idea.
Alrighty.
Don't hurry back.
That's that. Now, we're done advancing the main quest until we do pretty much everything else in the game, and I'm including the expansions in that definition of everything else. We're gonna go complete all of the other content prior to heading to Little Lamplight to get into Vault 87 and find our Gek. Now, with that said, there is one little thing I do want to do before I go ahead and truly end this video, because we are so very close to level 30. I think I can get there just by capping the raiders over across this bridge. And that's what I'm gonna do so that we can go ahead and get almost perfect and stop worrying about experience points. And I say that because the next thing I want to do... Ooh, hadn't found these ammo boxes. That's kind of cool. Because the next thing I want to do is go for the attribute bobbleheads. So... Oh, you're so dumb. Maybe not. Oops. Come on now. There we go. That alone might be enough. Not quite. 11 XP to go. So one more raider will do the trick. So I'm gonna do this right quick. Drop the lucky 8-ball inside the ammo box. Darn. There we go. There we go. Exactly 11 XP. That's probably actually worth more than that. That's what we needed. There we go. Level 30. Oh yes. With one less luck, a few of those went down. Level 30. I'll show you the other perks. You can take... well, there are only two. You can take Nuclear Anomaly. With the Nuclear Anomaly perk, whenever your health is reduced to 20 or less, you will erupt into a devastating nuclear explosion. Note that any allies in the vicinity will also suffer the effects of the blast. Alternatively, you can grab Almost Perfect. Take the Almost Perfect perk and all special stats are instantly raised to 9. That's the one we'll take. Then we'll grab the lucky 8-ball back out. 999, 10 intelligence, 10 luck. Delightful. That's it. Let's head back to Megaton to offload. And get repairs and all that good jazz. I keep thinking I'm finally done with settlements, and then, you know, the Citadel takes forever. There are tons of people to talk to. We still have Underworld to check out. Quantums. Abraxo, conductor, fire hose nozzle, fission battery, paint gun, pilot light, sensor module, cans, turpentine, and wonder glue. In here, we're going to stick Smuggler's End. Over here, we will stick our explosives. Note that our carry weight is now up to 290. That's pretty cool. In here, we can stick our 16 sugar bombs, our scrap metal, and our teddy bear. And do all this. Don't need to worry about well rested anymore, do we? Nope. Dog meat's outside Vault 101. That's okay with me. Let's go visit Doc Hoff. Sell our weightless stuff and get some repairs. And then, with plenty of exploration and convenient questing along the way, of course, we're going to go after the attribute bobbleheads.
Tell me what you need, and maybe I've got your fix.
There we go.
Another satisfied customer.
The first bobblehead will be really easy to get. It's right here inside Megaton. We'll be grabbing the bobblehead strength from Lucas Sims's house, and we'll also check in on that Vault 101 emergency signal. Until then, this has been Let's Play Fallout 3. We've completed the Waters of Life, the Enclave has made their entrance, we got access to the Citadel, we explored it. Most importantly, we've hit level 30, and so we're ready to go after the attribute bobbleheads. That'll be the focus of the next several videos. Until then, thank you very much for watching, and have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.